Did you watch that Game of Thrones thing I told you to watch?
Uh, no, I didn't. I'll watch it later. But we're live now, so hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm Cecil, and that's James, and that's Jose, and we're gonna talk about Gotham because it came
Right.
on
Right.
and
The,
and stuff.
yep.
And stuff.
The first episode, the pilot episode.
The first episode, pilot episode, we're gonna talk about Gotham, season 1, episode 1, entitled Pilot. Huh? Okay. And
Real easy to remember there.
right.
Right.
So yeah, so that's it. We're we're a bunch of cute black bears. Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Right. Well, I can't say that right
That's what you get to decide. Too sparkle.
Right. Okay. Pew, pew, pew.
Right. Well, we get side effects. We get side effects later. Ew.
Okay. So there's going to be a bear spin on this show. We're going to talk about Gotham as a bear would and should.
Right.
So there you go. I guess we kind of start with our first impressions. I mean, kind of what did we think about the show in general? Jose, give us a few seconds on what you thought about the show.
Honestly, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was just the right amount of dark for it to be a what is it, a Fox show? Yeah, it would have felt more organic if it would have been on the CW.
Right.
But we can't always get what we want. But Fox is doing okay. I'm enjoying it so far. For it to be a pilot, it has some. Actually, yeah, they're doing pretty good. I mean, I walked into it not having any expectations. So, had I really had expectations, I probably would have been let down. But since I didn't, I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, because I guess a lot of people had expectations. A lot of people were hating on it, like early on. It was like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that. I was excited about it. What about you, James?
Yeah, I was excited too. Like I said, I love they got to the point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't try to go all the way back to the past and blah blah blah. Like nope, the first scene, the parents got shot. I love that. It like
yeah, they've
I just-
established early on that at this point, Batman is already starting to develop in young Bruce Wayne.
Right,
While we're looking at James Gordon, Batman is starting.
right, because they following the comic. The comic started where the parents got shot. Then they do the backstory of how the parents became, influenced his life and how he became Batman and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wasn't as pleased with it as everybody else was. I'm not a follower of the comics. I've read a few of the arcs or whatever, but only a few. But I do love Batman. Always have. Always will. But I didn't want them to start the show with Bruce and not Bruce, but Martha and what's the other one's name?
Thomas.
What's his dad? Thomas. Thank you. Martha and Thomas's death. I wanted them to end with that. I just for some reason I just felt like it would have been more poignant and it would have meant more if I knew just a little bit about their character and kind of what makes Bruce Bruce. Now maybe they'll explore that in flashbacks. I'm sure that they will.
Right.
But I really wanted them to end. I wanted it to be a very climactic ending. And
I can see where you're going.
Right.
I can see what you mean. Like if we'd have spent a little bit of the episode getting to know what Happy Bruce was like,
Right.
Or and then take it, snatch it all away from him at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
You saying it'll be more of a sadder scene if we had background stories of the parents and how they live.
Yeah, I would.
Let's not take away from what they did though. Did you hear that shriek That little
he did that.
That was heart wrenching. I mean, that was the true depth of pain from a child who just lost his parents.
Yeah, that was one of those. It was.
That was an old Princess Bride moment.
Child, there already memes across the internet with that screen.
Are there really?
Are there really?
Yes. They are fast. Okay.
But I mean, fast with that, honestly, my other impressions were I felt like they did not need to throw every villain in.
Right.
I would have been okay without seeing Catwoman. Shout out to 8 Flavors. Anybody who watched America's Best Dance might recognize that girl from 8 Flavors because she was awesome.
Right.
And her entire crew. So they said she looked too old, but that's fine. And she looked too old when she was on.
We're gonna talk about that in just a second. Let's put a pin in that and circle back around.
Right.
We're gonna talk about that.
But what Cecil was saying, we had Catwoman, we had Penguin, and what else we had? We had the Riddler.
And we had too many people. I would have been okay with Carmine Falcone and Fish Mooney. And that's it for right now. And the Penguin. I'd have been okay with them for just right now. And then, let's move on a little bit later. But you gave me everybody at one time. I didn't need that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I say this. They gave us like the B list, like some of the B list stars, but like the A list stars, like the Joker and so on. But
the Joker's supposed to be in
it. So I guess they're trying to say the best of the best.
I don't know. Is the Joker supposed to be in it? Somewhere?
Yeah, because
is the Joker supposed to be in it? I thought the comedian standing up on the stage was an allusion to the Joker.
Oh, you know what? I'll be damned. It may have been. It may have been. I really wasn't even thinking like that. I really wasn't.
And because I thought, personally, I thought it was an allusion to the Joker because the joke that he told wasn't funny, but she laughed and told him he was funny.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was kind of like a play on the scene, like, okay, that motherfucker's not funny, but she's cracking up. What's that about?
So what really kind of stood out to y'all? What was the one or two things that really just kind of made you be like, oh?
I like that they had some Easter eggs, but what stood out to me, and remember I said we were going to circle back. What is up with Catgirl's face?
I'm so mad at you for being even that serious about her face.
Her face is just like it. And so I told you this earlier. It looks like her face should be on a 29-year-old woman's body, not some obvious little girl.
Ooh, Gotham shade, child.
Gotham shade. Wasn't that some old shade? That was.
She got. I mean, how do you have a little? How old? She has to be what? 9, 10 years old. Obviously, already has some Botox injections in her face to keep her face all.
What? She did not have no Botox injections.
She had work done. She had some Joan Rivers realness going on.
Jose,
I can't with you.
That is me. That's me.
Yes, very much.
I'm not saying she was ugly. I'm just saying her face was just. It wasn't. It just didn't seem like she was a little girl. Like they superimposed her face onto a little girl's body.
Yeah, she was working at Farrah Fawcett Feathering. She had
all of that going on. Yeah, she was doing all of that.
Okay, right. Someone please call 911. She looked like Mary J. Blige in that. James, what stood out to you?
What stood out to me was Jada Pinkett Smith playing Fish Mooney.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she played that role.
Oh, she slayed that role.
Cause what made me laugh was the Penguin was holding the umbrella. And the umbrella went to the side. She got wet. He said, if my hair get frizzy, you get frizzy. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And then she had the nerve to adjust her wig.
Did she fix that wig? No. Did she do it? Okay.
Fixed it.
Right.
Yeah. She done beat this dude down, broke his leg, gave him gave him that lip that eventually is going to be the waddle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then she had the nerve to fix her wig. I was through.
Yeah, she absolutely did that, and that was hilarious. I think, you know what honestly stood out to me the most? I think Alfred stood out to me the most.
That's right. I need to say something about Alfred.
Because Alfred was, get your ass up, get your ass off my porch. Get off my porch. He was
right.
Get your ass down here. You know, he was
Right.
less Butler. He was less Butler, and he was more black mama in the club going to get her daughter.
Right. Well, with Jeffrey, he's so used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he didn't phase him. He's like, oh well, old boy on the roof. Like, oh, get out from there. Like.
No, but what about when he went to go get him? When he went to go to the murder scene to get Bruce?
Oh yeah,
the way he talked to Gordon. That's all I need to know that this show is gonna be good. Like Alfred was just like,
right. He gonna
you come. This is Gotham. You're not gonna make no changes. So have a seat. Just go sit down. That's his whole attitude. His demeanor was just like, no, you're not making no changes.
I really, really needed that. I really needed a spry young,
Alfred.
What's his name? Thank you. A spry young Alfred that really just didn't take no shit, and he had, he realized what his responsibility was. These parents are dead. I have to take over now. I got to do my thing, and it was really, really good. Now let's not forget that we are a bunch of black bears. So shout out to Mario Pepper. He got killed because they always shoot the hot bears in these movies, in these shows. They always kill the hot bears. Shout out to Mario Pepper. Shout out to Big Tiny from Walking Dead. They always shoot the hot bears.
Right.
So, that's okay.
What about what about Jeremy Staples?
What about who?
The black bear, the black henchman.
The one I just saw, the black henchman. He the one who was talking to Oswald just now. I'm literally watching it on the screen.
Right.
And he just flashed him. He was cute.
Right. What about the bear in the jail cell? What about that? See, I noticed.
Oh, the one with the pills? The one talking about he wanted his pills at the beginning?
No, not that one. No.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, not that one? Which one are you talking about?
God. I'm trying to look for his name. Hold on. Kenneth. I can't say his last name. Kenneth Abreu.
What did he do? Because I'm not gonna remember his name. What did he do?
Like I said, I know he was like in a jail. I know that. And not getting a character's name, it just say man too. So he was an agent.
Man number 2. Shout out to man.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to man. Yeah. So overall, what? Let's rate it. Let's rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. I don't know. So
like I said, I give it a 4 because they still trying to get the story together, so it's not all the way, dramatic yet. So I give it a 4.
What about you, Jose?
I give it a 4. I'll give it a 4 because it hasn't done anything to let me down, and I don't want to rate it a 5 because it's only the pilot. So it has to really wow me. I'm gonna give it the first 4 episodes for me to say whether my rating is gonna change.
So I'm going to be the Russian judge, and I'm going to give it a 2.5. Is what I'm going to give it.
Okay.
The reason being is because I feel like I'm not invested in Gordon, and I don't have any reason to be.
Right.
I thoroughly loved Bullock. Donald Logue. I like Donald Logue anyway. So I think that he's going to make a great Bullock, and I'm glad that Bullock is in the show because I've always liked Bullock's character through all the movies or whatever. The animated series, I've always liked Bullock. I did enjoy Jada Pinkett's performance. I felt she was a bit too cliched, but she had some good moments.
Right.
I like what they're doing with the Penguin. Didn't want them to throw in. I didn't need to see the Riddler. I didn't need to see Catwoman. I didn't need any allusions to the Joker. All of that. But I did appreciate seeing like Falcone. People like that.
Right.
Did you also notice how they put in Detective Montoya, which in the cartoon, for the viewers out there, remember. Detective Montoya is a lesbian in the comic book.
She is clearly a lesbian here too.
Lesbian on the show.
Right.
So,
and that's another reason why I'm giving 4.5. I don't like lesbians.
So you didn't wait for her to die,
and then it's funny because in the cartoon, in the Batman animated series, Detective Montoya was Harvey Bullock's partner. In the comic book, after the show, in the comic book, her partner was Crispus Allen, which in the show, his name, they called him by his name, Detective Allen. That's Crispus Allen, who is eventually going to be killed in the comic book, and he becomes the Spectre, which is another DC superhero.
Oh, so that's another
So,
Easter egg.
another Easter egg.
Okay, so 7 degrees of Gotham. Okay.
Yeah.
7 degrees.
Right.
That's
But
so
I
yeah.
like, I like, yeah, like I said, I just want to say about, going back to so many villains. I wouldn't mind it if they wasn't so obvious.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I'm
did
saying?
make
Like you didn't want to know that the Riddler was going to eventually, that the Riddler was.
Right. Like, stop. Like, you can tell, like, because he had the book in his hand and he said, stop giving me riddles. Like, come on, that's so obvious.
Yeah.
you know what I want it because the thing about Batman, the whole Batman universe is people will stick by it because there's been 30 million different versions of. And I'm sorry, the phone's ringing at my job. There's been 30 million different versions of the the universe. So and each one of them is different. I would have
Right.
appreciated it if maybe somebody who was working at Gotham PD, maybe we didn't expect them to become the Riddler. Like instead of being named Edward Nigma, maybe he was named something else. Because in some of these iterations, he's not named Edward Nigma. He's named, he has a different name.
Right.
Like if you play the Arkham Origins, he started with a different name. Then he was Nigma. Then he was something else. So, you're taking me too fast with these villains. So
Yeah. And it's
Right.
I understand we want to know a history of who these people are, but at the same time, yeah, you're right. They're taking us they're introducing too many villains before they're really important or necessary.
Right.
Because
right.
Batman Bruce is still 8 years old right now. We don't need to know who that Nigma. And it bothers me that he was a forensic scientist. Why is the Riddler a forensic scientist that works for the police? What is that about?
I don't know.
That's an interesting take that I don't think I like. So
I don't know. I think I told one of y'all this. I don't know if it was James or if it was you, Jose, but I told y'all a long time ago that I would have appreciated it if they did one villain's origin per season. Like if the first season it was about Gordon's interactions with the Penguin and how he came to power, and the next season maybe it was Gordon's interaction with Catwoman and how she came into whatever she came. You know what I'm saying? Give me what kind of like how American Horror Story does. Is that the name of the show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me one fully fleshed story per season. Stay in the same universe and then move on to something else.
Right.
Yeah, they're doing the Mario Pepper chase right now. Just FYI.
Oh right. Bear.
Well,
and he was the most spry bear. For his size, he could run.
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was just about to say that you might get that from the next episode because they showed mostly the Penguin. He didn't get shot, so he survived, and now he's on the road. Yeah. That what you see in the trailer for the next episode. So you might get that. I don't know. Like I said, I can't predict the future. So, but
we'll see.
Like what y'all expect from this series? Like, do you think they're gonna stop before he becomes Batman, or do you think they're gonna go all the way till he's Batman?
I think the last episode will show him standing on sitting on a gargoyle and the bat symbol.
This show is clearly about Gordon and his rise to cleaning up, his rise to the commissioner status and cleaning up the GCPD concurrently with
long time. He got some years before he becomes
years,
like 20 years.
So obviously time is going to go fly in this show, depending on how many seasons it goes through. But is this his rising through the ranks is going to concur at the same time as Batman becoming Batman?
Right.
We're not going to see Batman in this show ever.
I mean, look at like Smallville. Did he ever
We're- They're
become
gonna,
Superman?
they're gonna follow the same formula as Smallville did. We're not gonna
Okay.
see the suit until the last episode.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Okay, thank you.
That's
I
what
don't
I
want
thought.
to do
Because
time
yeah,
jumps.
we don't want to, and I think that's one of the reasons why many people might have their objections to this show is because it's a show about Gotham, especially coming off the heels of Smallville, where the story should be about young Bruce, not young Gordon.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
but you know, Gotham was Gotham before Batman showed up. So let's.
Right.
I mean, honestly though, should it? Because who gives a damn about young Bruce? We ain't never cared about Bruce before he was Batman. Nobody has ever cared about him.
Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, nobody cares about him going through puberty or
Right.
Bruce Wayne's first date or the prom or
Right.
none of that stuff. We don't care.
But you gotta think though, because they showed in the episode, well, next episode actually, where he's testing his limits. He's training now. If you see, because he had his hand over over the candle, trying to test his limits. He said you need to stop doing that because it's dangerous. He even said I'm trying to test my abilities. So he's training now
Oh yeah, no,
for
that's
revenge.
what I mean by all this stuff is happening concurrently. Like we're gonna see everything happen in parallel as Gordon rises through the ranks, then Batman's develop or Bruce Wayne. I keep saying Batman, but Bruce Wayne's development into his eventual turning into Batman. We're all gonna see it side by side.
Yeah, but it's gonna be the B side of this single. So that's why I mean the A side is about Gordon, and the B side is really kind of about Bruce with the C side.
Right.
But and this is the last thing that we're gonna close after this. But
Okay.
yeah, I think it's okay that we're not seeing a lot about Bruce. I really, really don't have a problem with that. But when I do see stuff about Bruce, I don't want it to be so cliched as lines where he says, "I'm testing my limits."
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't want to see.
I want to see. I want to see. I want to see Bruce. I want to see this little boy going through his emotions and going through the things. I don't want to see some little kid who we all know is going to turn into Batman.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see where he's not even thinking about.
Right.
I mean, like, and real quick, like Game of Thrones. I'm rewatching that now, and just to kind of compare the two, Game of Thrones does not hold your hand and tell you everything that's going to happen. You really have to kind of see. They have so many characters and they have so much going on, and it's funny that we're complaining about that with Gotham, but we don't have a problem with that with Game of Thrones is because they don't insult the intelligence of the viewer.
Right.
I was watching episode 1 of the second season of Game of Thrones, and they introduced Stannis. They've been talking about him the whole time in season 1, but never saw him, and they didn't really mention his name but once. And they don't insult people like I am the brother of Robert Baratheon. They don't do that. But Gotham is not like that. Gotham is like, hey, let me tell you a riddle. Hey, stop telling me riddles. You must be the riddle.
Right. So obvious.
Well, I want them to stop that, and that's why I gave it a 2.5.
Right.
Y'all gave it a 4, so we'll see what happens next week on Gotham. We'll be back here. We'll talk to you about it. Please join us next time, and we'll say goodbye to everybody.
Peace, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Letters.